Okay, lay down, get comfortable, and close your eyes. I'm going to ask you.
I'm there again. Yeah, I'm there already.
Ah, you're there already.
Yeah, that's training. 10 months of telepathic sessions.
Okay.
Um,
So tell me,
I
what can
see.
you see?
I see the moon like a big space, like a stadium on the dark side of the moon. You know, there was a shield, but I did this. I opened it with my hands.
Hmm.
There's a lot of triangular, um, like military jets.
Yes.
It's interesting that they have a big portal there. It's almost like a triangular portal as a shape of a jet. And I see people going in and they disappear in the portal and they reappear in, I see Antarctica, I see Arizona, some military base or something under the ground, and I see Nevada too, like Area 51. I see New Mexico, like desert, like mountains. Mountains are hollow, they're military bases, and there are portals all over there where it's hot and dry. There's something about the atmosphere, the thinning of the energy layers that they can open them and keep them open for portals. So I don't know why I saw that, but that's the first thing I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And the inside, I usually go on the elevator down the moon, like a capsule looking elevator, metallic, but I see like staircase going down. I'm taking it down, going down. I see some sort of little, almost looks like rooms with tables inside. There's like a commander with soldiers telling them something on the map, and that is how the world we wanted to be changed, because they're doing something to the magnetic field of the earth. I see the sun all of a sudden, like the natural sun, and I see it sending huge waves right now, and it's like dancing a dance with the earth, with the essence, the soul of our earth, almost as if my subconscious shows me as a metaphor, like two people, like these two planets, or sun is more like a star holding hands, and they're like exchanging these energies. But the problem is the earth has the almost like a mirroring shield that I see that the military are holding by, I just like right now above the earth, under that shield that is over it, and there's like almost metallic, like aluminum paper all around it, and the waves coming from the sun get like bounced back, and I see them changing. Like there are lots of spaceships, like literally, like they're round or spherical. There's oval here, there is rhombus like over here, and there are a lot of them. There's like a mothership, and there's like a field of little ships just like that, but they're energetically connected to the mothership, and they're also creating them some sort of shield for the earth not to receive this informational waves of like sun that would help the earth to change towards the old self. It's like made a loop and then it's came back to itself. But it can't really do it because it keeps expanding, and they put like limits to her expansion, but she doesn't like the limits. She keeps shrinking down back and then she expands. It's more like a jellyfish, you know, like keeps going like this all the time. And that's why we're experiencing the energy waves, because it's in a way it's fighting the pressure that is done on like artificially. It wants to be, it wants to shed. I see like a snake shedding skin. The earth wants to shed the old skin, the reality. It's like a thick layer of like dark, lighter realities, uh, based one on each other. You know, like to explain, I almost see like a computer games, but there are a lot of levels. And there's one level with this kind of buildings, and so the buildings exist, right? And they put another, like a paper copy, but they change their conditions on top. They almost like kids do, uh, put it on, and the buildings rip the paper through, like of this level. Therefore, we kind of see the tops of the building, but for us, they're under the sand or under the ruins. You know what I mean? It's the weirdest thing. But they keep piling up realities. And that's why the pyramid we see is really the tops of the pyramids. There's a huge part is underground. Or buildings, any buildings on Earth. People think that buildings sink naturally underground, but no, they don't sink. They actually been like they put energetic layers of different realities on top of each other. That's how they kind of drown the physical that way.
Mm-hmm. You said there are militaries and some ships that are preventing these flares from the sun to get inside the earth to produce this ship. Who are on those ships?
There's Switzerland, I see colliders. They're underground, some of them sticking out of the ground. There's like huge metallic things. It's like propellers inside.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also Alaska, I see those sticking out, you know, like CERN towers. I see a lot of gated, tons of 5G towers with the gates around it, with the fence around it. It's all over the world. They built those platforms on purpose. They're connected. They make like almost like geometrical figures when you connect the dots,
Yeah.
and they combine the energy that shoots up, and it manipulates the layers of physical, um, air conditions. So we would get like heat and then cold and heat and cold, because this way they influence us energetically too, and the earth also. And we are so connected with the earth because we are supposed to be connected with the essence of the earth and giving kind of like that. It happens naturally. You don't have to do anything. It's just like you kind of give the energy in a way to the earth, because everything that exists underneath the surface or above the surface influences so-called, you know, the future or the timeline we're going to.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's everywhere. I see like combined energies. Like if you thinking positive, you're more helping others. You're thinking negative, you're more on the negative timeline. It's like a tug of war, like a kid's game, you know. Let's pull it that way with our thoughts and emotions and what we believe in. While the people are like totally like by robots. They believe everything they're told. They're watching TV, they're listening to the media. There's like a huge thick layer above the dome, above the earth of it's like the energy of fear, and it gets there's some sort of like octopus things looking. They're metallic. They're AI, artificial intelligence, and they connect their tentacles down to different countries, to different conglomerates where people produce a lot of fear and panic, and they absorb it. And those are containers that I see a lot of spaceships of different negative aliens come, and they get the energy from it for their spaceships and for themselves. That energy of fear, I mean, that's like the fuel for them.
Are those the only spaceships right now around the Earth? Or can you see
I
other?
see the malevolent ones, like those negative species. I see reptilians. I see draconians. I see, Lyrans. But those are those are hybrid Lyrans. They're like cat people, but I see that they don't have a soul. They have artificial soul in a way, just like a container that is connected to humans to get the vital energy from. They're feeding off of humans. So basically what I see, there are grays, there are tall ones, there are short ones. Short ones work with mantis and those kind of, yeah, like mantidae, like primantis, humanoids. They on the round ships, and they have the short grays who work for them. And then there is like capsules. There's like capsule-like ships, and there are Nordic people there. With it's kind of like a dark fleet because they're surrounded by the triangular black jets, like military jets, but they're really amazing because they can change the vibration. I see them like shaken and they disappear because they become invisible. They change the vibration from physical to non-physical. And when you go above the dome, then you see some spaceships from to explain. It's almost like spaceship with nobody inside. I see this one, and I totally understand because I I I went to where it's connected. It's connected from outside of our universe. It's like a ship that it's database, robotic type thing that collects data from how things are going in this universe. And those are real Pleiadians from 31A07 universe. They don't want to get here. I see one. He's far beyond our universe. He's in his. I see very beautiful planet, and there's like crystal-like buildings on the like this like gothic shaped, with the long on top. And there's like cylindrical ones too, but they're mostly round. And they say that we've we've had fake SOS signals in space sent by draconians and reptilians, and there was also the Earth. I heard Mother Earth calling to help, for help, and some of our people came to help you, but they got stuck in the reincarnation cycle. And so he says the aspect of them exists on our planets, of our constellation, but aspects of them are stuck on Earth. And those are the ones who awaken now, who teach a lot, who lead by example, because it's up to humans to wake up or not. He says it's up to you. We cannot help. We cannot pull you out of this hole. You have to open the door. The door is open. Just kick it. It's open. There's no lock. You walk out of this cage that you're in. You just have to understand and look outside. It shows me like you have to open your eyes wide to understand and to believe what you understand, because a lot they wake up but they don't believe. They're scared of the real reality, and then they go back to sleep, or they are in limbo. They don't know whether to stay awake, or they stop searching for more information or working on themselves to wake up more. There is a category of those people too. Like I see them, they're like in self-made prison. It's like energetic kind of net over them. They're not sure yet. They don't like the world they're in, but they're afraid of going into a different direction because they're not 100% sure that it's gonna work for them. Something like this. They got disappointed, and a lot of those people commit suicide. And he says there are Arcturians there too, from a different universe, and there's a lot of hours. But he says, don't do it, don't take your life, because you'll get grabbed by low vibrational entities and you'll be forced to reincarnate again. He's very interesting. He has like white skin, blue eyes, and he has some sort of, I can't figure out, it's like a crown thing, but it's not a crown. It's like a blue, like topaz, like semi-precious stone, and it's got feathers in it, and it's kind of like attached to his head. I'm asking him, and there's like metallic things here, like he has it on his head. And I ask him, who is he? And he says there's no hierarchical pyramids, because those are draconian ones on Earth. He said, I just wear this crown, not because I want to tell others what to do or be in charge. I am just dizzy, kind of marking myself for being a teacher. But that's how I present myself, because I'm the oldest. Those who choose to stay on the planet for a long time, because we always choose when to go. I chose not to go for a long time, over 1,000,000 years. And then I know a lot about this planet. I can tell others, and it's up to them whether they'll keep the information or use it for themselves or not. it's the same, should be. He says that's the definition of freedom. You do what you want, but you're offered the information.
Okay, so as he's telling, they are far away. So the only ships that we have right now around the Earth are from the negative aliens.
Yeah, under the dome, I only see negative. Like
And above,
I just saw the one with the frog head, like a human body, humanoid.
and above the dome, there's nothing else.
Above the dome, I see some ships, but they come through like wormholes type things, you know, like through portals.
Yeah.
I see some aliens teleport themselves. Let me see one. He's I telepathically asked him. He looked into my eyes and he said, "I'm just a space traveler. There are a lot of us. We're curious." But he said your source and this particular universe is all contaminated with the virus, is gotten into the system because this universe was young and the immune system wasn't developed yet, and the protective shield of energy was not developed yet properly. That's why they got in. And I also see a lot of insects got in. Like, there are different hybrids looking like spiders, ants, bee type creatures with those eyes that a fly would have, or a bee. Those are AI creatures too. So basically, we're kind of like, in terms of vibration, by vibration, we attract the low vibrational creatures who can easily go into this our 3D reality, installed as a huge experiment, but unfortunately was hijacked by reptilians, draconians, and greys. And now they're the ones. There are also others. I mean, I see right now staring at me like a creature with a bird head. But he's not very nice. So there's like hawk being type thing with like ears on top with the feathers, but on the face it kind of like more human, but they got the beak and then the human body, but it's got some suit, like a space suit, like a second skin suit, you know, one of those smart suits that they have. Oh, there's an interesting button here. I see like a dark, like a black and then dark green triangle, and it's got 4 dots. And I feel like 4 dots are for teleportation direction and for adjusting to vibrational field. Because when he touches his shoulder, he shape shifts into a cloud or something else.
So you say that the sun is sending us the flares that will help to raise the vibration of the earth, but those
Right,
not get inside because of this shield that we have around.
right, right. But the problem is, I see, for instance, I see Germany, I see some Nordic countries like Iceland, like, um, I don't know, it's some parts, little parts of Sweden, those are kind of lit up in a way, because those are the ones that are not in fear much. They're more for, um, You know how they got us? There's like a big metallic claw and it says coronavirus on it. They literally pinned us down like when you catch somebody and control him or her with fear and then manipulate that person with that fear and also feeling guilty. For instance, for those people who don't wear a mask, they're trying to guilt them into doing it because they say that you're gonna, if you have it, the virus, you would infect others. So you're guilty, you'll be guilty of that, and that is going on. This what creates this layer of this dark, gray, energetic kind of shield also that is used for energy to fuel these spaceships and to keep this other like metallic shield around the earth so the rays are bounce back. And some countries are getting more because I see people, there's like groups of people when they wake up or they go, they don't necessarily, they're more like free. They're all about freedom of choice. You can tell us about everything about the virus, but we're the ones to decide whether what to do and how to react. Don't tell us what to do. And I see there's Germans, the recent protest.
Yeah.
They actually, what they did by getting out and protesting, they they made a huge hole in this protective metallic shield, and they're starting to get the waves from the original sun. And the more people there are awakened that way, because it's like they got together and did this together, and they had the one intention in mind. And they somehow were not connected. Nobody was collecting their energy because I feel like their energy is neutral. It's not, they were not angry. That's the difference in between protesting with anger. That's when entities are all around you and they they create like those protesters who protest with anger, like in the US for instance. They create a cloud of negative energy that feeds the entities and negative aliens. But those in Germany, they're neutral. They're totally neutral. They just kind of understood there's some smart person. There's a few guys behind this. They somehow, I see a chain that lights up with lights that they've connected to all these people. They gave them the information, but they told them that it's a peaceful protest. We are just creating a timeline for ourselves. Those are awakened people who came out. The thing about Germany that I feel also that there's the aliens are very much interested in German DNA. So even negative aliens are more prone to give them more rights to Germans, not to damage them, not to kill them, not to do anything to them physically, because it's like a huge laboratory under the some of the German, like Berlin, Munich, those cities. It's huge, huge. And there's like underground city and there is labs. And I see a lot of aliens. The one it looks like chameleon type with the head on top and the star. There's 5. It's like a regular 5-corner star. I see a lot of reptilians, but I also see a lot of bird people there in Germany. See the dark fleet people, black suits, they're different. They're military in dark suits, and they're the ones in just dark suits with ties. And they're very tall Nordic beings walking by. So they need to keep Germans as a race because they need their DNA. A lot of DNA got diluted, but they're trying to create a database for those whom they want to keep and use genetic programs and experiments.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, I see different timelines right now. So some people would experience what looks like destruction, and it doesn't matter. It's not like that. You can't. I can't even tell you what parts exactly
Mm-hmm.
of the world would be like destroyed or some cataclysmic events would happen, because pretty much everywhere I see it, how I see it like, imagine like a cloud over the country, and then all of a sudden, instead of rain, it shoots like sparks of fire down, and then some parts of the city get like on fire, or some get too much water coming from the ocean, or underground water even. I see like they're rising in some European cities that they didn't expect to rise. But the thing is, it depends on you in particular, what timeline you are creating with at your vibrational level and according to your consciousness level. If you understand that you are doing it, you kind of jumping back and forth. It's like there are different tunnels of timelines that go to like lots of them back and forth. And you kind of walk on this one, and then all of a sudden, your consciousness level, you go higher, you understand something more. All of a sudden, you jump to another timeline, which is more positive. It's like in duality, it's easier to understand, more positive, more negative, but it's more spiritual involved. People who are focused on the fear of like losing money, or that they lost a job these days, or not having enough of something material, they would kind of like be glued to this negative timeline, which I see like it's going like in this direction, and all of a sudden, those people, you see them, and then zoom, they're not present in your reality, even though deep inside you understand they're alive, but they're not present. You don't directly communicate with them. And it's like everybody walking through a transparent tunnel, and that tunnel is your particular reality, but the sides are transparent, so you do see other three people's realities too.
But you're not affected.
Yes, you're not affected. You're like an observer.
Okay.
Like you go to the zoo and watch, animals.
Mm.
The same.
And which is the most positive timeline you can see?
That's when you just kind of, I would say, survive more psychologically, survive, and spiritually. Everything that goes on, like I literally just saw like a mountain collapsing, and I could see that the mountain was fake. It's in Switzerland. Parts of the mountain just like went shoo, shoo, shoo,
Mm.
like disappeared under the ground. And so Holo is like huge hangars for military bases. There are a lot of Americans with American flags here on the uniforms in there. So, and there's some, it's related to their banking system, because there's a lot of Americans. It's like I see the tunnels under Switzerland, zoom, 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 zoom. It's the capsules that fly in the tunnels with those rich families or politicians who transport, who manipulate the money systems and hold the monopoly of the world, basically, of the fake pieces of paper that they keep printing and getting us more and more enslaved.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not enough for them because they see a lot of people waking up. They want, I basically see right now like the map of the world, and I see like a lot of, all of a sudden, cities, little ones, fall through almost like villages, like they fall through the surface of the earth and into different reality, into the original earth. Because remember how I was telling you that they put layers and layers of like computer game,
Mm-hmm.
and that they kind of fall through, and those are the ones who live in nature and they connected to nature, they're more spiritual, and they would fall through into the original earth, and they would just live there without even, because they're not connected to big cities, they would not even know that the big cities are somehow changed, and a lot of people from them are gone because they got affected by the AI,
Mm-hmm.
which is this virus is it's an AI robotic little thing that gets into you because you are in low vibrational state, and it has like the receptors of it, like when I studied immunology, like when you study C4 C8 receptors, it's not like that. They look kind of different, spiky. The spikes look different because they have mini radar systems at the end, and they locate the low vibrational beings, and they kind of go to get them. Those who are afraid,
And
they
fear.
would get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And can you describe how these people of the higher timelines will transition? You said like the small towns of higher people, or people in high vibration, that they were like going transition directly from one layer and appear in the new earth, like that. You see something.
Yes, and you know what's interesting? That I have like clips of different, to explain, it's like time is not like you snap your fingers and everybody goes.
Mm-hmm.
No, everybody has the time. Everybody has a process, and he goes through the process to get to the point when he kind of goes there to regional Earth. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like that. It's not what I've read, like, heard a lot about the solar flash. What they say that solar flash and zoom, all of a sudden everybody's awake and understands everything, or not
Mm-hmm.
understands everything, goes insane, and you have to help them to transition. I don't see that way. I see that there are steps, like we are here, and there is the original Earth is down, and there's like a ladder with the steps. You have to step on each step of your personal, um, raising your vibration and consciousness level in the physical to get down to the first original Earth level. And everybody has his own scale and the timeline, for everybody goes different.
Okay.
Like it's almost as if you had a personal timeline, but at the same time, you are with the others on this positive timeline. But there's a group of people, imagine, goes into the corridor of a timeline. Some of them are ahead, others are behind, but they're all going in the same direction. That's how I see it.
Do you see people right now already in the new earth or not yet?
I see some people there,
Mm-hmm.
and they call themselves original humans because they've repaired their DNA, got repaired by their intention, by their knowing, by the high vibration of the earth, and they're very tall. They look like they have so much energy, like a very shiny aura around their body, and their body is almost like turning transparent at times, but then goes back into more physical. But the physical is lighter than ours because they all look like they're
Like in a
thin and beautiful. They look different. They don't have that, how the expression on people's faces, their faces look more like a child who is just enjoying himself. That's what I see. They're very tall. I see only about 100 people there right now who are really, really on this original Earth level,
Mhm.
to which we're going.
Okay.
Because some are here to, like people like you do the sessions, help the others, understand some things. I almost feel like people, just by connecting with you and talking, they get their consciousness level um, raises through the knowledge from touching your informational field and your energy sphere, connecting to it by connecting to you. They get more information that way. Even it's in the way they need you, like a light bug. You're showing the way by example, and it gives them comfort that they're not alone, they're not going crazy. Somebody else gone through this and understands more than me, so I can get this level of understanding too. You know,
So you don't see the solar flash on the timeless, or do you?
I see constant solar flares. I mean, it's constant. I don't see like you would think that the sun would accumulate something like a huge, gigantic wave. I see them being strong and then going down in strength, and it's always up and down, up and down. It's never like this. It's not gonna hit for simple reason. Like I feel like a lot of people are not ready.
Okay.
When they're not ready, it's a certain vibration that is transmitted through the waves from the sun. And even if, let's say, there would be a solar flash, that's how my subconscious explain. Even if we did a solar flash and the people are not ready, it will go right through them because the vibration of it would be much higher than their. Their vibration is low. So it would go over their heads and never really touch them, you know, because they're not ready to accept it. It's like in sessions that I do, we offer the information from a client to his relatives and friends in whatever form he chooses, but then some of them do not take it because they are not ready in their spiritual evolution to understand what it is and how to use it. The same thing, I see artifacts in different castles or underground cities that they covered up with those layers of different realities, virtual realities, you know. We don't know how to use those amazing artifacts and devices that ancients used, and they were much, much higher in their level of using the free energy and all this, repairing the body parts, growing the body parts, regrowing, whatever you want. We just don't know how to read it because our consciousness level is not to the part of, that would give us the knowledge. So basically, the consciousness is kind of goes in parallel, hand in hand with your activation of your DNA. The more you understand, the more your DNA activates, the more your third eye opens up, the more abilities you can use, the more you believe in your abilities that you can use them and you can actually do it, because the level of understanding you're at dictates it to you, that you actually can. So it's all like, it's very complicated. It's not that this solar flash, I feel like it's like, they gave us the truth. Yes, we're getting solar flashes all the time, but at the same time, it's not true that it's just gonna hit us, because if you believe it's gonna hit us, we'll be waiting for it forever. That's what I feel. It's just my strong feeling right now, because I literally see us reaching, and it's like a big net. I see us as energy beings on a platform of creation. They're up above the field of those bubbles of different universes.
Mm-hmm.
And we put down like an energetic net for everybody to connect to it and to take his or her time to actually pull yourself up from this big laboratory prison that we call Earth, to get to the clear this all this dirt off of it, meaning all the layers of artificial intelligence and virus. That's a virus, looks almost like a sticky type glue. It's very dark, and it's gonna dissipate once we raise our vibration and once a lot of people do the same. And then that's the way for us. It's like a metaphor, this net. We pull our aspects up, but at the same time, we get a choice. Do you want to go to your original planet, because this universe is going to be cleansed from viruses? Or do you want to stay on Earth, on the original Earth? It's always going to be up to you.
Mm-hmm. You said that we cannot get the solar flares inside the planet because of this metallic shield we have around the planet.
Yes,
How,
but I feel like what comes first is that plan to robotize, to make people into biorobots. That's a plan that we kind of have to be observers of, and we'll go through the observation period. It's like a stretch of time that we are going to be observing it, but say, no, thank you. I'm not going to microchip myself or take the coronavirus vaccine or whatever. And after that period, that's when the split is gonna, I see it more like a split, not like a solar flare. It's like the timelines, and then it's kind of like zoom, all of a sudden you don't see those people, you don't observe them anymore, you don't observe this reality. You went through it, you clearly said no to it, like, I'm staying on my path, and my path is doesn't have anything to do with materialistic world. So that way it's kind of like you creating yourself a portal to get to this original Earth or to your own planet that you want to go to, because your job is done. You know what we do? We're like little comets, those who awaken, or those who's like, that's the first time on Earth, and you're fully awakened, you understand what you're doing. You are just like a comet with a big tail of energy, and this energy is information. It's light, it's information. And people, we don't even see it how it happens, but right now I see everybody as energy. It touches you like fire touches you. It warms you up. It sends a spark to through your heart into your soul, so your soul can start speaking to you. And that's what awakened people are doing right now, you know? Or it's like we are like trees that kind of put their roots down, and we're connected through the root system one to another throughout the world to activate the planet and get rid of all these things that make the rays bounce back, because we at some point understand we are the solar energy ourselves. We are that energy ourselves. We can light up the entire universe if we wanted to. We just have to understand that we can. So the sun is doing its job. It's connected to the earth. It's kind of like they activate each other. That's how they are working. They're always working in tandem, always like a pair, you know?
As I told you, I have some clients that have seen another timelines. I comment to you that some of them are very catastrophic, with meteorites coming down to the earth, big tsunamis, earthquakes, the Third World War. Do you see something like that? Or maybe
I
the
see that the Third World War is not gonna happen.
Mhm.
I see there is some program in the Earth system. It's almost like, how to explain? So the essence of the Earth, right, like a big round energy sphere inside the Earth in the center. It's got the programs running. I mean, it's a natural programs, but it's still a program. And it's programmed for to resist the destruction of it. You cannot really destroy it, because the other observers from other universes would not let it happen. The Third World War is not gonna happen. I mean, I feel like this information is sent by the negative ones who are in charge, the reptilian group, the fake galactic federation of our universe. You know, that I see the snake like beings, and the draconian beings, Dracos, reptilians, greys, all those species. They're the ones who have the ways to send us the information of destruction, because that's what they want to do. They want to destroy, and they're trying to destroy the earth by sending different catastrophic events right now. I mean, there are fires all over the world because they want to burn up the trees, because the trees, they're kind of shielding their 5G waves, and the 5G waves, they want them to completely kind of like cover the earth with. It'll be like an electronic net, and the earth would look more like an iCloud that biorobots would be connected to, and they would create a hive mind that way. But they only want this many people to stay they can launch other viruses too. It's not only the one. They're calling it the one, but there are multiple strains of different viruses I see. They're literally like coming from the skies, from water, from foods, from everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of my clients also mention a new virus maybe for next year.
About what? I'm sorry.
They also see some of us see appear a new virus and
New
even
virus, yeah.
for
Yes.
here.
Yeah, I see a lab in the US, and I see people in lab coats working, and I basically walked into some lab. There's tons of viruses. There's literally a lot of them. And some of them they put in vaccines. Some of them they they use little children that they abduct for injecting viruses into them and seeing how they react, because they also understanding now that this virus doesn't really affect little kids unless they have a chronic condition, because they vibration is so high naturally. The children's vibration is so high, child's. So it would the present virus doesn't affect them, so they want a new virus that would affect the young generations. That's what they're gonna try to release.
Mm-hmm.
But it's up to us to stay strong in our vibrational level, and because that's our biggest protection. It's like creates an energetic cocoon around us so no virus can get to you, or if it does, you would suffer mild symptoms. You know, it will be just like a cold for you, nothing special. So, but that's what I confirm that they're totally planning on doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Those sessions that I got, they're also saying that they see a very huge rise of the sea levels. Do you see that as a timeline or also not?
I see that timeline, yes, it does exist.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I see New York underwater, parts of Chicago underwater. I see I see like San Diego gone, LA almost gone. Well, the weirdest part is that Hollywood mountain is sticking out of the water. It's almost like they put it up by manipulating the layers. It's like almost like Atlantis or something sticking out of the water. Yeah, Florida. I see Florida is gone. I just see parts of Orlando above the water. There's a timeline like that. And the thing is, if you believe that that's how you're gonna end up, you are gonna end up that way. If you don't, you'll be on a different timeline. And even if you live there, you'll be on a timeline where it doesn't happen. See, it's hard to explain to a physical mind. That's exactly why they created the physical body, because we have to put the information through the physical. And how do you imagine that you live in the same place, but yet your neighbors are affected, but you're not, you know? It's because we have so many split multiple timelines and also aspects of ourselves. It's just hard to explain. It's an endless possibilities
Mm-hmm.
of different timelines.
So the important part is that you focus always on the positive, so you can go to the higher timelines, the most positive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to work on your thoughts and emotions all the time. And I feel like we have to be calm, as you know, when the sea is calm. So it's like that. No reaction, no super positive reaction, no super negative. Just getting the information, but putting it through your own filter of your own reality, because you decode your own reality in your own special, different way. But they do send a lot of waves of. I see like all around us, there is like spheres of metallic spheres of artificial intelligence, and they have like little holes in it which through which they project thoughts and holographic images that they build in the space. So basically, I imagine that a lot of people who see dreams, they manipulate our consciousness in dreams a lot. They would show you a lot of dreams. It's almost like a program that they insert into you, into your physical body when you're asleep. That you would see catastrophic events, or if you're in an altered state, you would see catastrophes, but they're holograms a lot. And the problem is, right now they have such amazing technologies that it's hard to even sometimes tell if it's a holographic image or not. You
Mm-hmm.
totally feel you are like seeing the true thing.
Okay.
So you kind of have to walk into it and touch it with your hands, and then it would just kind of disperse if it's fake.
Mhm.
Um,
Also, in one session that I had today, they recommend to the client to stay away from TV, your cell phones, and they show to the client an image like the from the movie Matrix, like with Agent Smith being able to come out through these devices and just invade you and get your energy to feed. So they strongly recommend to put away the TV, shut it off, and also if you're doing something important with your family, your cell phone, leave it very far away. So
mm,
that happen. See something like that?
yeah, because I see like myself looking at the cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
I see some, first of all, I see a computer and a reptilian humanoid on the moon in some big room looking straight at me. And through my eyes, they read my thoughts. Through device, they read my thoughts. And the device itself reads me,
Mm-hmm.
totally scans me, what my emotions are, what my vibrations are. And if my vibrations are low, and then I see the little, almost like etheric worms. It's a weird thing. I saw all of a sudden like a bunch of worms crawling through the space, through the surface of the phone, the face of the phone, into like going about all around my etheric um, bubble, and kind of waiting for me to lower my vibration to the point to get attached to my low emotions, or
Mm-hmm.
my negative thoughts, so they can literally like drink life energy out of me. So yes, I confirm that too. It's better not to have it, because it's like a spying device on you, really. You think you're looking at the screen, but at the same time, it's like, those rooms they show in the movies when you are being interrogated in the prison or something, and there is like glass walls or mirrors,
Mm-hmm.
and then behind there are people watching you, but you don't see them. That's how devices are. you look at your stuff, but behind there's so many eyes, and you're hooked up to the database system and also to the some humanoid who is watching you too, especially those who are doing something like spreading important information, or like you working with people and doing the same, spreading information. They're really watching those people closely.
Mhm. Another thing that I wanted to ask you is had with two clients, different clients, and they were not awake people, and they were seeing these catastrophic timelines. But at the end of after these catastrophic timelines, people shift their consciousness, and then they saw a lot of landings of ships with benevolence ET. Do you see something like that?
Yes. Yeah, what happens, we're in 3D, I see like a circle planet in 3D. Then when you shift your consciousness and it goes higher, then all of a sudden I see us almost like on a flat land. Like Earth becomes flat. I can't explain it. So it's like a flat thing with the peak that is holding it. You know? You know what I mean? I don't know if you understand. But, and then all of a sudden the dome is down. It's just gone. And the positivities can come because their vibration, our vibrational level, according to our consciousness level, is suitable for them to come. There's no danger for them. They are easily can use their portals and open portals because they are coinciding with their vibrational level. So it's easy. It's also easy for them to telepathically connect with us because we're no longer speaking. Those who speak the language like us are usually the ones who are like belong to some sort of like control system, like the matrix is, because through language they manipulate us too. And all of a sudden, when we're in 5D, by the way, I see like we're going into different dimensions. Not only the 5D, it's 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. And everybody goes to according to his own personal vibrational level. And those ET from different timelines, different dimensions, they can come. And because we released the aspects of ourselves and we cleansed all the parallel lives, and all the aspects of us in all the parallel lives got to the same point of consciousness we're at, and it's much higher than 3D. So we can totally meet the our neighbors from different universes easily.
Yeah, one client saw them living among us, and also we've been able to go and to their planets to live if we want.
Mm-hmm.
Other
Yes, we
seas.
can totally go because I decided personally for myself,
Mhm.
when we shift into that timeline, when you can go whenever you want. I'm going back to Sirius B, where that's my planet where I've incarnated a lot, and I really like being there. But yeah, they live among us. They are aliens are all over the place. I mean, they're under the in the underground facilities. I see draconians, some positive ones I see, who are actually chained down to some rock in some cells. It's like a little prison I see under the earth's surface, and I see it in Australia right now. And they chained down because they're trying to fight against their own system, the system of reptilian empire and Draco, mentality. So there are a lot of those that we consider a negative group. There's percentage of them kind of waking up themselves, and becoming positive. And they totally live in between us. They shape shift. There's so many presidents and people in government who are reptilians. I mean, basically, you can tell that we are controlled by reptilians and Dracos. Totally. Like all the people in government are those, except for some like Trump, for instance. He's not. But he came here, he's got a mission to help us, to give us the freedom of choice. But he has to kind of cover it up to pretend some other things about himself. A lot of people think negatively about him, but he's not negative. He's just super smart and very high consciousness level, smart enough to pretend he's dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And also, well, some clients see this happening very soon. Some say 2023.
yeah. Well, because right now it's like, when they're playing the I don't know, I just like see classical music being played, and also music you feel like it's growing, it's growing, it's growing faster, faster, it reaches the peak. It's like the volcano, it raises the lava and then it explodes. You can call it a solar flash, but I more call it like the split of the timelines. Like we're going into these two timelines and all of a sudden they shoom, there's like a split in between, like a buffer. So we're totally different realities then. And that is happening very soon. I mean, I totally see right now, like we're going through the layers and layers of things thrown at us. And we have to literally swim through the thick reality of matrix programs. And then after we swim through, observe, and survive this craziness, then that it happens. And it's happening very soon because they know it too. They know if they don't try their plans now, the humanity will just wake up and that's it. That's why they're trying to release a second virus, suppress us more, scare us more, to prolong, this happening. But they can only prolong for some people, but not for us who are in more positive timelines. That's how I see it.
Do you see right now like a percentage of the population that is awake? Some of the clients that I did sessions once told about 40%. Last week,
47.
50%.
No, I see 47.
47.
Yeah. But see, it's going like it's rising slowly. But the reason why they might see different percentages, because like I said before, some people get scared all of a sudden, or some AI gets attached to them, and through AI they get implants in their head, for instance, get the negative emotions, feelings, and thoughts. They start creating those thoughts and kind of going back to sleep, or they create a lot of negative emotions all of a sudden, and the entities can get attached to them, go into their energy sphere, put implants, manipulate them. So this percentage is like, it's kind of funny, It can go to 47, then down to 42, then go up to 50. It's always vibrating, kind of like changing back and forth.
And you see something necessary for us to do when this shift happens. what can produce this shift to happen at that moment?
Just our consciousness.
Is it
Just work on yourself.
so
Work on
to be
yourself.
awake, that we need to have awake to produce this shift?
Just stay where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on yourself, on your inner self. Don't absorb information from outside much. Absorb it from the sources that you connect with vibrationally and you feel a strong connection with them. Like you wrote to me, you felt like you got attracted by my vibration,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like our vibrations coincided. That's why we got together. This type of connections are good to make. But media, TV, just like your client said, no. Just try, even commercials in the videos, turn them off, if you can. Because those are all trying to put the negative thoughts in your head. But just focus on yourself, working on yourself. How can I improve the way I react to others, react to situation? How can I be more of an observer rather than player in situations and preserve my energy for myself so nobody can use it for their own purposes? Be calm about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like that. I just feel like we're kind of sailing through on the surface, those who are awakened. We can still see things happening around on the land, but we are kind of like on the waves, on the boat, just going in the right direction like that. So just stay focused on yourself and help others when they ask for help or your knowledge. You know, Continue doing your sessions you're doing a great job. Even those who are not awakened, it's like um, trampoline for them
Yeah.
working with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people got awake after the session. That was very.
Right, right, because their subconscious finally gets through to their conscious, right,
Mm-hmm.
to their rational mind, and then yeah, it's like you catapulting them basically into the right way of thinking. So
That's good.
yeah, I guess I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
It's very. Was
It's
very long.
tiring because I'm literally like I'm swimming through, like a fish swims through the currents.
Yeah.
That's how timelines are. They're constantly moving. I'm like trying to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I disconnect from everything and everybody.
Okay. Thank you very
But
much.
yeah, it's
It's
a
great.
mess in our skies. There's like layers and layers of spaceships.
Mm-hmm.
They're like looking at us like encaged animals. Let's throw this at them. Let's see how they react. Okay, so we'll put it in the computer program in the database. We'll figure out how we'll.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much. Okay, well, I'll turn off the recording. So if anybody has questions for future investigation, please write in comments. Bye.